The story begins in 1995 in Berlin, where we see a middle-aged man named Michael. He has a one-night stand with a woman who wants him to spend the night with her, but he apologizes, saying he's off to see his daughter. It's apparent that Michael is a very famous lawyer, and he is divorced, a girl studying abroad, and today she comes to see her father. The woman leaves the apartment, and Michael, standing near the window, sees a tram. The tramway reminds him of his own history, and then the movie goes back into the past. The scene changes, and we see Michael, 15 years old, in the year 1958. They ride the tram home from school. He doesn't feel well, as it's raining heavily outside. He walks down the street toward his house, but only a little, and suddenly they start vomiting and sit in a doorframe to hide from the rain. Michael is found sick and feverish by a middle-aged woman named Anna on the street, who took him to her apartment to clean up his vomit. At one point, she takes him to his home, where Michael's parents call a doctor for him to be examined. He was diagnosed with scarlet fever, and the doctor advised him to rest and stay at home for at least 3 months. When Michael recovers, he takes some flowers and goes to Anna's place. She has to go to work, so she asks Michael to wait outside so she can change. Michael goes out, but he sneaks from outside and watches Anna changing clothes. Suddenly, Anna looks towards the door and sees Michael. Michael ran away that day. After that, Michael follows Hannah every day and secretly watches her. Finally, one day, he will find Hannah. At that moment, Hannah is not at home, so he hides and waits for her. When she comes back from work, picking up coal downstairs for the ring, she suddenly sees Michael. She tells him there are 2 buckets placed. He fills them with coal and brings them up. When Michael arrives with the coal, his face and clothes are completely covered in black. Hannah laughs at him and says, "You can't go home in this condition, so take off your clothes and take a bath." When Michael is about to take a shower, Hannah brings him a towel and tells Michael to turn his face so she can dry him. As he looks away, Anna removes her clothes and approaches him. She says, "That's what you wanted. That's why you've been following me for so many days." Michael tells her she's very beautiful, and then the two make love. When Michael comes home, his father asks him, "Where have you been for so long?" "He got lost on the way." Michael tells his father he wants to go to school tomorrow, even if the doctor forbade it. His father says, "If you want, you can go to school, but be careful." He now skips school every day in the middle to meet Anna, and they make love. It turns out that Anna is 35 years old, and Michael is only 14 years old. One day, Anna asks him, "What are you studying at school?" Michael says he reads literature in different languages. Anna asks him to read a literature book. She also tells him that after today, he will first read something from the book to her. Then, they make love. Michael asks Anna to read the book several times, but she says she likes hearing it from Michael. One day, they both consider going somewhere. But Michael doesn't have enough money, so he sells some stamps from his stamp collection to be able to take Hannah for a ride. They both go to the countryside by bike. They both have a lot of fun. Michael seems to fall in love with Anna. They both go to a cafe, and when they both look at the menu, Michael asks Anna to order something from the menu. But she puts the menu aside and says she will eat whatever he orders. It turns out that Anna may not know how to read or write because she looks at the menu in a very strange way. Michael goes to the waitress to pay the bill. The waitress thinks Anna might be Michael's mother. Michael kisses Anna in front of the waitress to prove her wrong. Then, they both go to a church, where Anna becomes very moved after hearing the chorus. Then, they both go to a spring, where Hannah takes a bath, while Michael sits on the bank and writes a poem for Hannah. The movie goes back to the present time, where Michael is reading the same poem. This is a very famous lawyer, who goes to court every day and handles some of the most famous cases. But he remembers Anna. The movie goes back in time again, when Michael remembers his school years. There's a girl in his school who likes Michael a lot, Michael leaves all his daughters and goes only to Anna's. Then one day, Anna gets promoted and is given office duties. But for some reason, she is not happy. She is frustrated and also gets angry at Michael. Michael convinces her. And they both make love, probably for the last time. Anna suddenly disappears without telling anyone. Michael is heartbroken and starts to return to school. Then the scene changes, and we see Michael studying in a law school. 8 years have passed since Anna disappeared. One day, all the students are taken to court to watch a case. Trial. The case revolves around women accused of letting 300 Jewish women die in a burning church. In 1944, the German government took the Jews to Germany to subject them to forced labor. Then, they imprisoned them in concentration camps, where they were tortured. Anna and the other women were guards in these camps. Michael is very surprised and sad to see Anna. The main witness in this case is a young Jewish girl, Mother, who wrote a memoir about herself and her mother. She and her mother managed to get out alive from these prisoner screens. She recognizes Anna and the rest of her companions, and he said that Anna randomly selected the girls from the prisoners who read the book to her. Indeed, they randomly selected 10 girls, who would then be killed to make room for new prisoners. Hannah also admits that she always chose the weakest girls, who would usually read to her, and then, later on, kill the hosts. She says she didn't write the accident report that was presented in court. Someone else copied her signature. But Anna's comrades turn against her and make statements against her. Nobody escaped, and a false report on the incident was written by Hannah. The court asks Hannah to write something on a piece of paper to match her handwriting to the report. But Hannah refuses and suddenly admits all the charges. Michael then realizes that Anna is actually not a street, but she hides it from everyone. Michael tells the whole story to his teacher, that all these women are trying to trap Anna and ask for help from her teacher. But he says we can't do anything, because Anna has already accepted everything. That's why she tells the court herself that she's uneducated. She could be saved. He could have saved Anna if he wanted to, but he wants to revenge on Anna. And now he too wants to punish her for the pain Anna has inflicted on him. At the next hearing, the court sentences Hannah to life imprisonment, and the rest of the women are 4 years and 3 months old. After that, Michael takes care of his life. First studies, then marriage. He forgets all of this. He also has a daughter, but his heart can't love his wife, because he is still in love with Hannah, and that's why his wife is divorcing him. One day, he visits his mother's house, where he finds the same old books he read to Hannah. He reads them and records them with his own voice. Then he sends his files to Hannah in prison. After listening to these books and taking a few books from the prison library, Hannah begins to write and read on her own. And then, a few days later, she starts to write letters to Michael. But Michael isn't responding to her letters. 20 years have passed, and she's finally going to be released. The prison director calls Mikhail to help settle Anna. But before she's freed from jail, Mikhail meets her in prison. She told him that before going to court, she didn't even think about her women, and now they're thinking about nothing but them. The day she leaves prison, she kills herself, and when Michael goes to pick her, the prison director informs him of Anna's death. Anna leaves a letter and a tin can to Michael. There is money in this tin box. This money represented Anna's lifetime savings. His last wish is that this money be given to one of the Jewish women's children. That's why Michael goes to New York to meet Elena. He tells her about his past relationship with Hannah, what he hasn't told anyone so far. Elena refuses to take the money, and Michael tells her he'll donate it to a Jewish organization that helps kids get an education. Elena likes the idea and just keeps the calm, because she had a similar tin box with her, what was taken away from her in this camp. Then the scene changes. And Michael meets his daughter today, which is 1995 years. She just returned from Paris and is about 21 years old today. Michael takes Julia to the same church where he and Anna cycled 40 years ago. Now there's Anna's grave. He tells Julia about his past relationship with Anna. And there, the movie ends. 5.